Love is what you make it. You chose this road. Did you pave it? Hesitation. Whose heart is really breaking? This life is for the shaking. Tremors turn into elation when my manifestation starts that conversation. Changing winds. How about them? If I let you back in again, is it to sin? Is it ignorance? My new confidence ain't going nowhere. I promise this.
Here we go, here we go, here we go again. We can make it right. Let it go, let it go, let it go, my friend. We'll always have tonight.
You always knew I was a natural born star. You gotta fight, that's just who you are. My hex is a precise vortex. You'd rather light or wanna fly quiet. My vibe is not common. I'll back your word vomit. I'm a cold mother comet, living in the parallel universe where you're honest. How you gonna be so hard on me when you take the easy way out? Though I've shown you, I've outgrown you, I don't doubt that.
Here we go, here we go, here we go again. We can make it right.
How you gonna be so hard on me when you take the easy way out?
Let it go, let it go, let it go, my friend. We'll always have tonight.
Though I've shown you, I've outgrown you, I don't doubt that.
Here we go, here we go, here we go again. We can make it right.
How you gonna be so hard on me when you take the easy way out?
Let it go, let it go, let it go, my friend. We'll always have tonight.
Though I've shown you, I've outgrown you, I don't doubt that.
What up, fam? What's going on? Oh, we're not getting the chat on the screen again. Oh, for shame. Oh, well. What's going on? What's going on? Come on in.
Save it. Can we save it? Love is what you make it. You chose this road. Did you pave it? Hesitation. Whose heart is really breaking? This life is for the shaking. Tremors turn into elation when my manifestation starts that conversation. Changing winds. How about them? If I let you back in again, is it to sin? Is it ignorance? My new confidence ain't going nowhere. I promise this.
Here we go, here we go, here we go again. We can make it right.
Alright, we're gonna get started. Just a minute.
Let it go, let it go, let it go, my friend. We'll always have tonight.
Alright. No chat today.
You always knew I was a natural born star. You gotta fight, that's just who you are. My hex is a precise vortex. You'd rather light or wanna fly quiet. My vibe is not common. I'll back your word vomit. I'm a cold mother comet, living in the parallel universe where you're honest. How you gonna be so hard on me when you take the easy way out? Though I've shown you, I've outgrown you, I don't doubt that.
Here we go, here we go, here we go again.
We can make it right. Mix it fucking down.
When you take the easy way out.
Let it go.
I can make sick fucking games any fucking time of day. I'm Papa fucking Swole-o. I'm Papa Swole-o. Sick fucking games and no bullshit.
The sun is shining.
The birds are chirping.
The bacon
Bacon
is sizzling. Welcome
to the Daily Swole. Testing, 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 test equals. Oh, welcome everyone to episode 976 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleazecast, Slaycast, Taintcast, and Mancast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What is going on? Ya beaches, ya booshes, ya busters, hustlers, and ya hoes. What is going on? What's the good word? Welcome to episode 976. We got all sorts of what is going on with the interwebs. Daddy is trying to get his training loop video up, but it does not want to play. It does not want to play. Let's see. Let me see if I can get this to play. Let me see if I can get this to play. Let me just have to reset this. There we go. Sometimes it gets a little glitchy. You know, when the computer starts doing 10 different things and 9 different fucking things online, everything goes to heck. To heck. Everything goes to heck, not to hell. It goes to heck. All right, fine. It goes to fucking hell. But whatever. It's Monday. Happy Monday, everyone. You busters, hustlers, hoes, sluts, swole twunts, everyone that loves the Daily Sleaze. Thanks for joining me live, Facebook, Instagram, Periscope, YouTube, Twitch, everywhere. And thanks for tuning in to the podcast, the Slamcast. Just a reminder, everyone, that we are coming up on away from the new year. We are not, we're in the new year, but we're like leaving the new year. So those of you that are debating, those of you that are kind of like wishy-washy, slacking, waiting to join Swolenormous X, that 50% off all those amazing memberships, those prices are going to be gone really soon. So make sure you do not wait too much longer. They are there. If you have any questions, go to swolenormousx.com, check it out. But if you have any questions, just drop in the comments. Maybe I'll catch it, but you could also send me a DM, send me a message. Happy to help, happy to answer any questions. Those of you that are in Swolenormous X just recorded another virtual trainer, so I'll be getting that up today. It was a fire workout. I did a great one. Today was a chest and triceps pump. It was awesome, so I can't wait to share that with you. And today we want to talk about max movement. Movement max. I'm going to talk about movement max, and I want to explain what that is. And it's important, and I'll explain why, because I just kind of hacked after all this time talking about it, after all this time preaching it, after all this time doing it, sometimes, and it happens with training and it happens with nutrition. Sometimes, even when you've been doing it for a while, you find a hack, you find something new that all of a sudden changes the game for you. If you've ever had an experience like that, drop it in the comments, because usually when you are exposing yourself to something, you're practicing an instrument, you're practicing a sport, you're getting into nutrition, you're getting into training, you'll have that initial ramp up where everything is a shock at the beginning. You have that initial shock factor. You have that initial stress that overloads you, and you see results quicker. You get coordination quicker, you build strength quicker, you build muscle faster. Once you get towards like your peak potential, you've been doing it for 5, 10, 15, almost 20 years myself, you start to get to that point where I wouldn't say diminishing returns. Well, yeah, diminishing returns. The effort you put in, it's harder and harder to make progress. Progress becomes more incremental. But every once in a while, you do something, you change something, you tweak something, and you have this rapid growth or this rapid improvement that you notice dramatically, which is a shock to you because you're used to little incremental gains and incremental progress. And that's a huge aspect of continuously trying to hack your training and your nutrition and your lifestyle habits, because those little tweaks and that constant hunger for growth, that constant hunger for doing better, can be the difference between the way you look now and just dramatic differences. I'm not just talking about muscle gains or weight loss. I'm just talking about how you feel and how you move. And today I want to talk about max movement because I tripped into, not really, a little bit, I kind of fell into an amazing hack for myself, for my day, and I want to share that with you. Let me see. I recently learned about fasted cardio. How do you feel about it? I don't. That's not necessary. It's not going to make any more of a difference if you do fasted or not. I generally don't eat food in the morning. I like my coffee and stuff, but if you choose to do fasted cardio, fine. If you love to eat and then do cardio later, you're also fine. Just make sure you're exercising. Don't worry about those kind of details. It's not going to make or break you. But I would generally not want to do cardio generally, period, or too much of it. And I definitely wouldn't want to do it on a full stomach. So that's my personal preference. Happy Monday. What's up, Tara? Let's take a couple comments and let's take a couple questions or things in the details. Volume training and playing with time under tension. Nice. Morning, Papa. What up, Eric? What's going up, Dana? Casey? Warning, sick gains ahead. Use caution. Haha, all the caution. Use all the caution. So here's what happened. A lot of you probably know, you've heard from the other episodes, that I ordered a standing desk, and I'm very excited. It's probably going to come in a week or two. So I'm really stoked to be more vertical, but I also love doing deep squats. And because sitting on this ball, which is the only time I do this now, where I'm sitting on this ball, is during the Daily Swole, because I don't have the standing desk yet. So I might only sit during the show. But what is excellent about my mishap is my back had started to really bother me just sitting down, because I'm editing videos and this desk can't be elevated. And I used to stand more often, but those of you, how many of you use a standing desk? How many of you use one of those? You'll know that when you're standing all the time, and if you have a job where you're standing all the time or standing in one place, it's not comfortable either. So as much as everyone puts all this stock and all this, hey, you have to, standing desk is the new fad. Not that it's a fad, it's a good thing, but even standing in one place still is not good. It's about movement. It's about not being in one position for a long period of time. So even if you're standing at a desk, you're still going to feel fucking pain. You're still going to feel stiff. You're still going to be like, oh, antsy and have to move around. So what's the hack for that? And the answer is to move more, even if you have a standing desk. So the way my situation is, I have this desk elevated on some of those. There's two pillars, or the legs, the fucking pillars of the desk, the legs, and they're up on those little bed elevators, those little blocks. So the height that it's at, I have a half tire. And what I do is I actually squat. So what I do is I kind of stand up sometimes, I kind of lean forward and I do a little bit of editing, but I also get down to squat. So the only time I'm sitting is during the Swole. So I'm either in a deep squat on this little elevated platform, the tire essentially, or I'm standing up. And I'm, because after I do a deep squat for a while, anterior tibialis, my muscles start to burn, start to fatigue a little bit. So I stand up, shake it out, move around, and then get back into a squat. But I've been moving nonstop. So rather than being in a standing position for a long period of time or a seated position for a long period of time, I'm standing, I'm squatting, I'm kind of leaning to my left, I'm kind of lunging to my right. I'm constantly moving, and my body, my joints have never felt better. And I want to tell you something. This has happened in the last 2 days, 3 days. When I practiced yoga the last 2 days, I took 2 days and just did yoga. My mobility, I got into some positions that I have never gotten into. I got some more range of motion that I've never had. I have felt better than I have probably my entire life in terms of being mobile and just feeling good. And it's because of the constant movement. Yes, I'm going through full range of motion, but I'm in a deep squat and then I'm standing up and then I'm in a deep squat again as much as possible. I'm not in that horizontal 90-90 hip locked, ankle locked position. I'm getting a nice full range because you're meant to be in a deep squat. And we've talked about this. And in Swolenormous X, I have the mobility, the Swollen 7, where in a deep squat, you're moving around, you're doing circles, and you're in that deep squat. That's natural. So anytime I want to answer Instagram comments, Facebook comments, emails, anytime I'm doing stuff on my phone, I pick up my phone and, I'm in a squat, but I go on the ground, whatever, and I just do a deep squat and I do it. And I move over side to side. If I get really fatigued and I want to rest, I go on my knees and I lean back. I pretend I don't have any kind of furniture. I pretend I don't have a chair. I'm always moving. And and 2 days of avoiding that locked seated position, and it's night and day. So when it comes to hacking your discomfort, when it comes to mobility, it's not that you need to stand, and it's not that you should be sitting. It's that you should always be moving. And that's where the benefit of just walking, just being in motion. Most people are just not in motion. And I didn't realize how little I moved. And I thought, okay, well, I can't hold that deep squat forever. I'm not a native Indian. I can't do a 2 or 3 hour on a campfire squat yet. However, when I'm squatting, when I'm too fatigued, I stand up, shake it out, and my body is already getting better after 2 or 3 days. And I was already pretty good, but I'm loosening up. And it's amazing how your body will adapt really, 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 really quickly. And this is something that I hope all of you can implement, because we've talked so many times about elevated heels and footwear, and everyone asks me about my Vibrams, my barefoot shoes. This is the way your body is designed. So as much as you might not like the way the shoes look, and it doesn't fucking matter. And what's crazy is when someone says, what are those ballerina flats or ballerina shoes? It's literally a black sleeve where you can see the toes individually. So if you're criticizing that, you're criticizing the way feet look. You know how stupid that is? Oh, those shoes, they fucking look gay, man. What? They are your toes, your shoes. Are you saying that black people's feet look gay? That's a weird thing to say. It's oddly racist, right? I mean, they're just literally sheaths over my toes. They're the most minimal shoes that Vibram makes, the classics. That's all it is. So if you're saying that looks weird, you're saying that human feet look weird, and maybe you feel like that. You're free to think that human feet look weird, but to criticize me for the way they look, okay, fine. They're the way feet look. I don't want to wear shoes. I don't want to elevate my heel. I don't want to fuck my body up, because that's exactly what happens. And as much as we've been talking about nutrition, talking about gluten and getting rid of soy and getting rid of all these processed sugars and crap and net carbohydrates, and how that's so important for your physical health, your mental health, how that's a massive hack for weight loss and fixing your body. This is the same way physically. They're both physical, of course, nutrition, but this is the same fucking way. It's the same thing, but it's with your feet. Your feet are the first line of defense with the earth. They are the separation between you and earth. So that's the first thing that the body contacts earth with. If your ankles and your feet are misaligned, everything, I want to make this perfectly clear. If you have a building, if you play Jenga, tell me what happens if you play Jenga. You know, or the bar game where you pull out the blocks, you know, Jenga, same thing on a table. You pull out a bottom block, everything has to be shifted, right? Same thing with your feet. If there's any kind of misalignment at the foot or the ankle, everything else in the body is by default fucked up and out of alignment. Guaranteed. You cannot have good alignment in the rest of the body if the ankle or the feet are impaired. You absolutely can't. It's not aligned. It's not proper. Nothing is. It's not possible. You do not have proper balance. You do not have proper tension around the muscles, because if there is impairment and there's a improper angle, there's tension all the way up, because your body has to balance out to keep the center of gravity. And if there is a misalignment at the bottom, everything else is misaligned. It has to be. Okay? You're breaking, exactly, Nathan, you're breaking the kinetic chain. The kinetic chain is just the muscles, the bones, the ligaments and tendons, and how they organize themselves. It's the movement system in the body. If you have your ankles, your feet are pronating and you have flat feet, it's not like, oh, I have flat feet, woe is me. You have to strengthen your fucking feet. You have to be doing arch exercises. You shouldn't be wearing orthotics and wearing fucking shoes and boots that push your feet in a different position. That's not helping you. If anything, it's weakening you. You need to strengthen and create muscle in your arch. You need to create that strength. You need to create that integrity in your foot, not wear shoes that passively force you in the right direction. Okay? You need to take control of your movement, and moving more means everything. It means walking, it means squatting. And here's the thing, when I say moving more, a lot of people will just default to, oh, I can't have time to exercise, I don't have time to. Fine. I understand if it's cold. A lot of you live in cold climates. I'm not asking you to go walking in negative 20 degrees. Okay? That doesn't always work out well. But what you can do is get in a deep squat as low as you can, and do that as often as you can during your day. When you're at home, don't sit in a chair and watch TV. Get in a deep squat. Yeah, it's going to get tiring. Then you come out of it and go on your knees and shake out your feet, and then do it again as much as you can, and you'll get better. It'll get easier. Watch your Netflix, watch TV, watch a football game, but do it in a deep squat. Don't sit on your ass. Get some movement in your body while you're not doing movement. If you're at your desk and you're going to do something on your phone or something, get off your desk and get into a squat and get a deep squat as deep as you can. And if you can't, that is a massive red flag for high risk for lower back injury, knee injury, neck pain, shoulder pain. If you cannot get into a deep squat, a deep yogi squat, then especially with barefoot, if you cannot do it barefoot and get into a deep squat, you are at very high risk for lower back, knee, neck, all kinds of joint injuries. All kinds of joint injuries. If you cannot do that properly, you are at massive risk for an injury. Massive risk. Massive risk. Not slight risk, massive risk. Because your body is telling you that it's not aligned properly. Your body is telling you that it doesn't have proper alignment. Your body is telling you that the muscles in the joints do not have proper range of motion. Your body is literally telling you, hey, I can't handle this. And then what are you going to do? You're going to put on the shoes and the sneakers or whatever it is, and you go to the gym, and then you throw on tons of weight, hundreds of pounds, and you stress your body going up and down. And then you put your body under stress. And then you get hurt, and then you wonder why your back hurts. So after doing squats, oh, my back hurts when I do squats. It's because your body's misaligned and fucked up. Oh, my knee hurts when I do squats. It's because your fucking body's misaligned and fucked up. Oh, my neck hurts, my shoulder hurts when I do. It's because your body's misaligned and fucked up. Oh, it's because your body's misaligned and fucked up. That's it. That's it. It's very, very simple. You're not taking care of your nutrition. You're not taking care of your body. So when you're stiff, when you're brittle, when you have arthritis, you're eating inflammatory foods that are attacking your body's attacking itself. You're eating foods that are causing chronic inflammation. You're not moving. What do you think is going to happen to your joints? You're causing chronic inflammation in your body, and you're not moving. So everything becomes stiff and brittle. What happens? You get petrified. You're fucking your body up. and you're aware of this. Maybe not directly aware of all the consequences, but this is what's happening in society. This is what's happening to you. This is happening to your parents, to your grandparents, to your friends, family, mother, brother-in-laws. This is what happens to people. They get old and they fucking die. And they get brittle and stiff and fucking like, meh. That's not the way you're supposed to be. You shouldn't be crippled when you're older. That's because people don't take care of their bodies. Now we know better. We should know better, but most people still just go and beat their fucking head against a wall and still do the same old dumb shit. Who the fuck is Colin McGee? Someone else that someone thinks I look like? Everyone thinks I look like everyone that has a beard. Oh my God, you have a beard. You look like so-and-so. A lot of people have beards. A lot of people have beards. Yabish. I just inhaled my coffee. Fuck, hold on. Oh God. I'm dying. I'm dying. Fuck. Let's see. Malia. Squats during commercial breaks and hydrate during your show. Squat all the time. Don't squat during commercial breaks. Fuck that dumb squat shit. Oh, 30 squats a day. Do 30 squats squats. No, get in a deep squat and hold it. I'm talking about like a seated squat. Look up like Native Americans and look up a yogi squat where you're sitting down, your butt's on your calves and your knees are turned out and your back is straight. You want to do that all the time. Don't just do it during commercial breaks. Do it all the time. That's how you should watch your show. Yeah, it's not going to be comfortable at first and you're going to be limited, but it's going to show you how fucking stiff you are. And the more you do it and the more you practice, the better you'll get. And it'll make everything feel better. I cannot tell you how good my back has felt the last couple days. That's how it works. Because when you're in that deep squat, what's going to burn? The top of your feet, the bottom of your feet. The top of your feet are going to burn because your anterior tibialis is firing, because those muscles usually don't work, because your heels are elevated. So those top of the foot, the dorsiflexors shut down neurally. So you get that foot flopping. So people that get plantar fasciitis, their arches fall flat. So when you're sitting down on the ground, you're doing that yogi squat barefoot, your front of your foot and the top of your foot and the front of your shin starts burning because those muscles are waking up. That's natural. It's going to burn really quickly at the beginning. You're going to have to like rest and shake it out and then do it again. That's going to build up. It's going to help pull your shin forward. You get more dorsiflexion, which is going to help you get more range of motion. It's going to help you squat and stay more upright. Everything is going to feel better. Everything is going to feel better as a result. It's just part of the process. It's just part of the process. You have to take this. You have to take this seriously. Oh, I'm starting to see chat pop up. Well, that's nice. That's nice. What a wonderful surprise. What a wonderful surprise. Let's see. No? No? I'm seeing things pop up my screen. Why is it not showing up on my... There we go. Love the early... Oh, God, this is all these old comments. All right, so that was delayed as shit. Cool. All right, at least they're coming up. So that's what I have to say. That's what I want to deliver to you. That movement kind of masks itself as you have to be in motion and moving. And yeah, that's great. It's great to walk. I mean, you should be in physical motion, but being in full range of motion. Like, it's okay to sit. And yes, we can do a masterclass on this. Absolutely. We're going to do all this stuff. They've got a lot of stuff coming on the masterclasses. I've just been working on a lot of other stuff behind the scenes. So absolutely. Those of you that are in Swolenormous X, there's tons of masterclasses on nutrition and movement and assessments and physical postural assessments and stuff coming in the next couple of weeks. But this is something that, you know, it gets overlooked because we think of movement as being in motion, but your body is always in motion. Your bloodstream, your heart, your organs, they're always moving. You're not moving, your organs aren't jumping around, but the blood, the fluid, your body never rests. Even when you're sitting still, your body is still in motion, just inside. You can't see. So if you're sitting down, your body is meant to rest. Understand, your body is meant to, quote, sit. You're not supposed to always be fucking moving, but when you sit, you're not supposed to be sitting in a chair. You're supposed to be in a deep squat. You're supposed to be in a deep squat around a campfire and you're there. And then when you're not moving, you're lying down and sleeping. You're supposed to be in that deep squat and moving around. You're not designed, or you're designed to have, look, your feet build calluses when you walk around barefoot for a reason. You build your own shoes, essentially. Your hands get calluses when you use them more frequently because your hands adapt. Your body kind of has a built-in chair. You're able to squat and sit down really fucking deep, and you're sitting on the back of your calves and your knees are open, your back is open. And that's what your body is designed to sit, rest, and do everything without other aspects. Okay? Doesn't mean you can never sit down in a fucking chair, but you should be as much as possible being in a deep squat, especially when you are, especially when you're at home, especially you do as much as you can. You are going to be night and day. And once you practice this a lot and make this a point, I want you to set an alarm and do a deep squat and do like a 3 to 5 minute hold as often as you can. The more you do this, the more you're going to feel stiff as a fucking brick when you sit down in a chair. You're going to hate chairs. You're going to start hating that shit because you're going to get so used to that deep squat and how it feels. Because when you sit down for a while, and you know that if you have a long commute, you're on a plane, you're on a train, you're on a car, you stand up, you're like, oh, right? Come on, everyone knows that. You get up like, oh my God, your back and everything's locked up because your back is bent all fucking weird. But when I'm in that deep squat, I stand up, I'm like, woo, and I shake out. I'm not stiff at all. You're not stiff at all. It's fucking amazing. Amazing. Telling you, you're going to love it. Oh, it's such a game changer. It's such a game changer. So think about movement differently. Max movement, I mean max range of movement, max range of motion. It's so simple to go into a squat. You don't need equipment. You don't need all this fancy shit to make your body feel better. Your body will repair all these injuries, your shoulder injuries, your back injuries. I guarantee if you're like, oh, I have herniations, this, that, and the other, it's because you don't move. It's because you sit in a chair and you fuck up L4, L5, and S1 for 40 fucking years. Of course, you're going to have bulging and herniations and shit like that. But if you're doing that deep squat, you're doing this kind of yoga stuff regularly, your body will repair itself. Any of you that are getting surgeries, you're fucking not only probably wasting your money, but you're also making shit worse. You should not be going in there and fucking around with that stuff. You should be doing mobility work. You should be doing this type of natural movement and training. Get rid of the fucking foot coffins. Get rid of the shoes. Get some barefoot. Get some neutral footwear. And I'm not talking about just flat. I'm not talking about Skechers. I'm not talking about, what the fuck are those? Chucks and stuff like that. I'm talking about you get the Vivo barefoots, get some Vibrams, but just be barefoot as often as you can. Not telling you to go run marathons on pavement, but you need to be stretching and balancing the body out more. It will change your life. It will change your life. You don't realize all the tension that your body is under when your heels are elevated. You don't realize all the tension that is built up within your body when your feet are bound into shoes. You don't realize it. You know why? Because you've been wearing shoes since you were 4 or 5, probably. If you've been wearing shoes your entire life, how would you notice that? How would you notice that? However, when you take off your shoes sometimes, and ladies with their high heels are like, oh, and you're massaging, like, oh, my foot feels so good. Of course it aches when you're wearing high fucking heels. Of course your feet feel better when you take off your shoes. You get home, you take off your shoes. Oh, it feels so good to have my shoes off. Come on, in the comments, have you ever felt that? You take off your shoes, oh, it feels so good to take off my shoes. I wonder why, because you're not supposed to be in them to begin with. That's a straight up fact. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care. There's no science that says we should be wearing shoes. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Now, I'm not saying you don't need footwear. If you're barefoot, yeah, you're going to get nicks, you're going to get cuts, there's pavement all the way. But proper, barefoot, neutral, mobile footwear, they're everywhere. There's a reason why these barefoot type shoes are very loose around. They're not locking your feet in place. They're just pretty much protective coverings that allow your feet and your tarsals and your bones and everything to move. And they just protect you from the pavement and from glass and rocks and little things that might bother you. So it's minimal. That's why they're called minimalist, because they don't block you. They don't shape your feet. Nikes, Reeboks, all those things, they're absolute trash. They're absolute fucking trash. Really, really bad. Ankle mobility has really helped my squat. Of course. You're supposed to have mobility. If you don't have a squat and you don't have proper form with a squat, that's why you don't have good mobility. If you take off your shoes, most people have worse form without shoes on. That's why platform shoes in the gym are popular, because it elevates your heel, because people are so fucking tight, they can't get into a good squat barefoot. Okay? When you take off your shoes, your calves are being stretched more because you're used to having an elevated heel. That Achilles tendon and the calves are very, very short because you're elevating your heel all the time. So when you drop your heel, all of a sudden, a lot of people, they wear sneakers all the time. They take off their shoes to do deadlifts. Then all of a sudden, your heels are dropping more and they're pulling on a tight, stiff calf tendon. And now you're putting tension around the knee. And that's why people's knees start caving in under stress and duress. It's just muscles not being activated. People are not moving properly. Nathan, I've had so many years of having to wear boots, usually steel-toed for work requirements. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, see, I'm a cook. I'm in my non-slips for like 12 hours a day. Yeah, but can't you get like neutral? I mean, my point is you got to do the best you can and you got to do better. But if you're going to wear those things all day and you're restricted, you can get neutral footwear. You can get, so there's no heel drop. Okay. You want a zero heel drop. You want to be flat. Okay. So you get that the best you can. And then when you get home or when you have a chance, you do as much mobility as you possibly fucking can. You don't sit down, you don't lock yourself up. You're in a deep squat or practicing your deep squat, doing yoga. You're mobilizing those joints. You need to, especially if you're playing that tug of war game where you have to wear heels. You're a lawyer or you work in an office and you have to wear heels. I don't know if you ever need to wear heels if that's required, but you can definitely make better choices. But some people, that's their career norm, which sucks. However, if that's something you have to deal with, then you have to more aggressively, super aggressively balance that out. Super aggressively, not casually. You have to be fucking adamant and just fervently working on your mobility. Yeah, it's going to be a game changer. Osgood Schlatter is what I have in my knees. Sure. I mean, that's going to be in part for having tight hip flexors. There's many reasons. Tight calves, tight ankles. That all comes from a reason because the tendon is pulling over and over again on the tibia, I believe it is. The tibial tuberosity, I believe. And then you get that calcification and that pain. It's like tendonitis for the front of your knee. But you need to be loosening it up, foam rolling, stretching, yoga, balancing out your ankles. But if your feet are fucking pulled out of direction, everything else, it's like Jenga. It's like the game at the bar where you have the blocks, you pull one out, then there's imbalance. Everything else has to be shifted out. That's how it works. That's how the body works. That's exactly how the body works. What about dressy shoes? I feel them being flatter than other shoes. They might be flatter, but they're also stiff as shit. Dress shoes suck. They're like clip-clop. They're like fucking tap dancing shoes. They might be flatter, but it's not just about the flat. It's about the movement. It's about the movement of the tarsals and the metatarsals and the flexibility and how naturally the foot can actually move. Dress shoes are really, really rigid. They're usually wood on the bottom, aren't they? They might have a less of a heel drop, but they're very, very stiff. They're very restrictive. They make more high quality. They make really nice dress shoes that are like more barefoot style, that are more mobile and low hip drop. I mean, they're not cheap. They're fucking a couple $100. I've seen them, but they're just, I don't wear dress shoes though. That's not a concern for me. I really don't care. But yeah, I mean, there are companies out there that do it. This is much more popular now, but I'm just barefoot as much as I can. I don't have any comfort. Anytime I put on even just any type of footwear, I stopped because I just can't handle it. Bothers me. I fucking walk weird. I feel discomfort right away, back pain. Yeah, and I wouldn't say back pain, but like I just feel really uncomfortable and awkward when I wear anything but just being completely barefoot. So I'm planning on getting some more, maybe a pair of like, the Vivo barefoots, the sneakers, the footwear, so I can have a pair of shoes if I put jeans on for whatever reason and go somewhere where I'm not doing athletic stuff or I'm here topless and shit. But because I don't want to wear anything with a heel drop, I can't anymore. I'm over it. It's just I never really did. I've been wearing Vibrams for years, and ever since then, it's always made regular shoes awkward whenever I had to wear them. So you want to avoid that as much as possible, as absolutely much as possible. So what I'm going to be doing today is adding some more content. Goal is to get some more stuff up on the Gain Train blog. That's going to be more like a newsletter with some updates and some summaries and some links and shit like that. Also going to be doing virtual trainer. So Swolenormous X members, I want to get a new one up in there and also work on some other new content and workouts for X. So just a reminder, those of you that are interested, make sure you check out the website for links to the podcast. You can subscribe to the Gain Train blog, all at swolenormousx.com. You can also check out the specials for Swolenormous X memberships. And there's a lot more content on barefoot training, all the podcasts. There's so many episodes we talk about barefoot training. Even recently in the last 10, 20 episodes, we have some stuff on barefoot work and barefoot training, but extremely, extremely, extremely important that you take your mobility seriously. But max movement does not have to be that you are running around constantly like out of breath. Max movement means you're using your body and you're treating your body as akin to its ancestral state, because that's what your body is. Your body is ancient. Your body is not from now. Your body is from 1,000,000 years ago, 100,000 years ago, 40,000 years ago. And now all of a sudden we are restricting movement, and that's why we're in so much pain and discomfort. It's no fucking mystery. It's no mystery. We are jacking ourselves up and we are consciously doing it. And it's right before our eyes. Why? It's because we don't think we're animals. We think we're better. We think we go to the zoo to see fucking animals. All right. This is how fucked up and how egocentric humans are. We go to the zoo to see animals. Look in the fucking mirror. What do you think you are? You're an animal. We're all animals. We go to the zoo to see fucking animals. And we're humans. Humans and animals. Nope. We are fucking animals. We're mammals, yo. We are fucking animals. We're no different. We can just make iPhones. We're the same fucking thing. So when you think about your body like that and you think about things like that, okay, you wouldn't feed wild animals, right? You wouldn't feed wild animals like garbage food. They would hunt in the wild. That's the way we should be. We should be eating grass-fed animals. We should be eating wild fish. We shouldn't be like, it's just put those things together. Put it together. So simple. So simple. Hard to beat the feel of grass on bare feet. Yeah, grounding. They call it grounding, right? We have to have a name for being barefoot on earth. We have to call it grounding. We have to call that grounding, being barefoot on fucking grass. It's grounding. You mean standing on earth? Fucking ridiculous, right? Like the way we have to call food, organic food. You mean food? I love how organic is like, oh, but this is organic food. You mean we have food and then we have shit food. The stuff that's not organic should just be called garbage and natural, whatever the garbage is. And that should be the regular. But I love how we have like, oh, we have this food, but then we have the higher level. No, we have this level, the normal level, and then we have the shit. That's the way it should be. It's all fucked up backwards. I am an animal, a swolenormous beast, beaches. Yeah, Keith. What about sitting cross-legged? No, you're sitting down. You're sitting down. Sitting cross-legged it's really bad too, because most people do the same leg and it really tightens up your sartorius, your Taylor's muscle. So it tightens up that hip flexor in the front a lot, the inner thigh and all that shit. The sartorius is an external rotator. It's the muscle. It's the longest muscle in the body. Goes from, let me see if I remember, just inferior to the anterior superior iliac spine, inserts onto the the medial condyle of the tibia. Is that correct? I don't know. I got to check my kinesiology, but it goes all the way. It's that long muscle. If you ever see bodybuilders that are shredded when they're doing that, front pose, you see that long muscle that goes from like the front of the outside of the hip all the way on the inside, all the way to the inner part of the shin. Yeah. Yeah. The sartorius, that gets really tight. They call it the Taylor's muscle because that's where you measure the inseam, I believe. But that's the muscle that you use when you externally rotate your femur and you rotate and you abduct and you pull the leg across and whatever. So yeah, I mean, sitting is not good. So I don't care if you're sitting cross-legged. I don't care if you're juggling, playing cards. It's not good. It's not good to be in that hip lock position because when you're sitting 90-90, you're putting a ton of pressure on your lower back, a ton of pressure on your lower lumbar. When you're in a deep squat, your body opens up. It's complete opposite. So you open that shit up. So start practicing that. And Swolenormous X, I'm going to be uploading a lot of stuff on. Obviously, the Swollen 7 has a lot of this, but I'm going to be uploading a lot of stuff with assessments and postural compensation work and corrective exercises for that, as already exists in X in the instructional videos. Those of you that are members, remember you can go to the instructional video library, go to the mobility section and do those exercises. But also the Swollen 7 has a lot of this stuff like the deep squats. But just do it more often. When you're resting, when you're relaxing, when you're watching TV, when you're texting, get in a deep squat and hold it. Move around. You don't have to be stiff. Kind of oscillate, make circles, make 3 circles to the left and 3 circles to the right. Hold it as long as you can. Push your knees out. And make sure your knees are in line with your second toe. Try to keep that nice posture and try to arch your, as much as you can. And as you get better, once you burn, your feet are fatigued and you're really, then stand up, shake it out, or drop to your knees and kind of shake out your legs and do it again. Like just do as much as you can and start doing longer and longer as often as you can. And it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge for you. It's going to be huge for you. Trust me. I can't wait to get out of this. Right now, even just for doing this for like 40 minutes, my back, at least I'm on a ball. I'm rolling it around now, but I just feel stiff. I can't wait to get into that deep squat. Can't wait. Love it Dash needed the mental masturbation prior to hitting the gym after your podcast. If you didn't pump yet today, fam, go fucking pump. Go get your fucking pump on. Go get your fucking pump on. Go get your fucking pump on. And if you're not yet hooked into Swolenormous X, why are you waiting? I can't wait. I'm going to go work on that virtual trainer now. I'm going to do some mobility and some stretching work myself. And I'll see everyone tomorrow for episode 977 of the Most Muscular Swolecast, Beardcast, Broadcast, Gaincast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleevescast, and Taintcast. Slaycast, Ins the Realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. See you tomorrow. Peace, McGee's fam. Deuce, Magoose, your boy, Papa Swole. Out.